Okay, so we're going to be taking a look at another one of the posts on the Korean Mabinogi Eternity project site. So I would like to talk about texture production during the process of remodeling Turconail, where Militians will live. If you change the engine to Unreal, the background graphics will have to get better. Wouldn't it be possible to make it respond to real-time light by adding normal, roughness, and specular so that the characteristics of each material stand out? I'll make all the backgrounds you've wanted to make for a while. The will to create a truly fantastic background was sparked. However, our Mabinogi isn't like this. I worked too hard on sculpting using graphics tools, but it didn't have the hardwood feel that Mabi has. When I strengthened the normal, realizing low polygons with the three-dimensional effect of high polygons, the clear feeling typical of Mabi did not appear. However, I gathered my courage and went back to the beginning and thought about what elements determine the characteristics of Mabinogi's background. Mabinogi is a cartoon graphic. The flat feel of the environment setting creates a unique 2D feel, and the diffuse texture has strong contrast to bring out the sense of mass. The sense of shape and proportion of the background had a simpler and more casual feel than the realistic proportions. On the other hand, the texture was closer to real life than expected. In these cases, Mabinogi's background identity was being added. So here's a good example of like the wooden textures being showed well. And then Avalon clearly shows like stone texture. This was it. More than anything, I realized that texture plays a big role. The unique, clean, and organized feeling comes from the texture. So, I tried creating the texture right away. First, create a shape. To what extent should sculpting using graphics tools be done? In sculpting, shaping using graphic tools, I decided to neatly process large chunks and edges and only add large cracks to the wood texture. Work efficiency is also important, so the wood grain feel was created using alpha in the tool. So here you can see, like, this is the door to Duncan's house, and this is like the window. We've all seen the preview of his house in Unreal Engine. Second, create a diffuse base color of the object texture. In the past, texture creation was created by combining photo textures with Photoshop or drawing them directly. Nowadays, several tools such as ZBrush and Substance are used. Looking at the Mabinogi texture, we could see that it was close to real life and had a high density. It has a semi-realistic feel that has been processed through photo texture synthesis or stylized texture with high detail. Since it was produced 20 years ago, it had a strong feel of a photo composite hand mat. To reflect these aspects, using the production tool, we used the wood grain texture as a base and built it up one by one. Use the sharpen filter sharpening effect to express highlights and depicted parts more clearly. In particular, care must be taken when creating high polygons to clearly express highlights and shading at the edges. And this looks pretty cool. You can like see how in this picture like the wood is like changing. That looks really cool. And here you can see the front of Duncan's house again. This was it. Although the road was difficult, I was very proud that I had laid the foundation for transferring Mabinogi's style to the new engine. Yeah, it's very important Mabinogi has the same style, and this guy did really good work on this. Like, this isn't easy to do. So on the left we have existing resources, so the resources from Pleon Engine, and on the right we have the Unreal Engine resources. So this is the church in Pleon Engine and the bank in Pleon Engine, and this is the church in Unreal Engine and the bank in Unreal Engine. Making the tiles was also difficult. The tiles also used a texture that was close to real life and had a high density. Think of it as a semi-realistic texture with a processed feel through compositing from a photo texture or a stylized texture with high detail. I tested it out in two ways. Processed through Substance Designer texture creation tool for soil and grass, you can see it here, and photo plus PRB, so physically based rendering, resource synthesis for the soil and grass, so you can see like the two differences between these pictures. How to create a Substance Designer from a stylized feel to a more realistic depiction. Advantage: as work resources accumulate, you can quickly work with tiles with a different feel by reorganizing and recycling nodes. Disadvantage: it takes time to express photo-like details. And photo texture and PRB resource plus Substance Designer and Sampler equals composite. The work speed is fast. Disadvantages is it requires reliance on photo resources, so expressions are limited. So here's another cool picture of Turconail Town Square. This is kind of cool because now we have a closer look at the actual town square area that a lot of us have spent a lot of time being AFK in. So I like the wood that they decided to add here. That wasn't here before. It used to just be all stone. It looks like they added like wood right here and like the four corners. I think that's to make it feel a little bit more like a bench. And you can also see like the brick right there. That looks cool. And you can see some brick over there too. Overall, I think they did a really good job with this. This looks like Town Square. It feels good. We can see everything appearing. We can see all the trees appearing, all the buildings and fences, the water, the dock for fishing. Let's go right to here. This is our first real look at like Turconail as a whole. The only thing we really can't see is Fergus's shop. So there's the healer's house way over there. That's going to be the graveyard. I would love to see some close-ups of what the graveyard is going to look like. Looking back, a lot of things happened. There's still a lot to do, but the style has been established. This is how the background graphics of Mabinogi Eternity are being produced. So this was an interesting post to read. I'm definitely glad that they're interested in capturing Mabinogi's style and making it feel like the same game. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at the Mabinogi Eternity section on the Korean website. And today we're going to be looking at For Silky Militia Hair. So, hello, this is Developer K. I would like to talk about the process of applying physics-based animation to bring life to the hair of Militians. In the beginning, there was a skeleton, so this is a skeleton of a Militian. The screenshot above is of the skeleton omitted for illustration purposes. In the actual game, more skeletons are used for various movements. Traditional animation techniques for creating character movement include: there's a basic skeleton for the character, and the key animation which moves the skeleton in XYZ direction and adds a key to each frame is common. For example, let's consider the motion called walking. Since the legs must move back and forth, the thigh, calf, foot, and toe bones must be moved each frame to set the height, left foot, right foot, respectively. Of course, let's move the arms naturally too. Let's set the height by moving the upper arm, forearm, and hand skeletons each frame. For natural movement, the body also needs to be in rhythm. So pelvis, spine, neck, etc. Walking was used as an example, but in Mabinogi, all character movements are performed in the same manner as above. It is a key animation method that holds the key by moving the position of the skeleton for each frame. The motions of various skills, the motions of actions, etc., all movements. When the above skeleton moves, the attached modeling should also move along with it, right? The work done to achieve this is called rigging and skinning. Connect each vortex of modeling to the skeleton rigging and set the skeleton by giving weights that will be affected by its movement skinning. This allows the attached modeling skin to stretch or shrink when the skeleton moves. Since the basic skeleton of the character is shared, even if the modeling is changed, if the skinning is done properly, the animation operates normally. So hair animation, let's take an example of a ponytail. It is said that animation must be added to the ponytail hair with all key animation data created based on the basic skeleton described above. First, we need to add a skeleton for the ponytail for movement to the basic skeleton. So here you can see the picture for an example. Now all you have to do is add a key for the movement of the additional skeleton for the ponytail to the animations you previously created for character movement. In all character animations 13,586, the key of the skeleton added for the ponytail must be adjusted step by step. So here's all the steps. As the hair bones continue to be added to the base bone, rigging and skinning problems also arise. So separation of the hair skeleton. Before something like the above becomes difficult just by imagining it, let's separate the hair skeleton from the basic skeleton. Leave the existing basic skeleton and animation data as is and create a separate skeleton for the hair. Let's use the ponytail as an example again. Let's create a separate hair skeleton like this and create a separate animation for the ponytail that will run simultaneously with the existing animation. At this time, when the walking animation of the basic skeleton is executed, the walking animation of the ponytail skeleton is also executed at the same time. The animation operates separately on the two skeletons, but the result looks like one movement. Of course, for this it is necessary to adjust the frame length of both animations and keep adjusting them based on the basic skeleton animation so that the hair does not stick out too much. Separating the skeleton only solves problems in the rigging and skinning process compared to adding a hair skeleton to the basic skeleton. The process for creating a key animation corresponding to all existing animations is the same. Currently, in the case of moving wigs and hair Mabinogi, the skeleton is separated for each hair mesh and a key animation is created and applied in response to the motion applied to the existing basic skeleton. Physics-based animation. What is physics animation? It has physical properties such as mass, inertia, damping, and elasticity. This refers to animation that is simulated to produce results similar to everyday physical phenomena. In short, if you set various conditions, movement is automatically created according to the physical phenomena. If you just listen to the exclamation, there is no need to specify the position for the skeleton for each frame like in the existing key animation. It sounds like a technology that naturally and automatically simulates the position of the skeleton. In reality, there are many things to consider in order to express natural movement. Let's use the ponytail as an example again. Even in motion, in place, in motion that moves and runs, or in motion with high acceleration, the simulation should come out not moving as if it's bouncing too much, right? In small movements, there is little response to external factors, so it is difficult to express the ponytail's movements in detail. On the other hand, with large movements, acceleration or collisions can make the simulation unstable, causing the movement to appear inaccurate. To respond to these problems, adjust the parameters of the physics simulation, or adjustments to the magnitude and direction of the motion are required. Nevertheless, there are cases where it is not possible to satisfy both extreme situations of small motion and large motion. Initial physics-based animation test appearance, so that's this here. So 1, no physical animation, and 2, small physical animation movement, and 3, large physical animation movement. So you can see here how the hair isn't moving at all when the character moves, and you can see here how it's moving a little bit when the character moves, and in 3 you can see how the hair is moving a lot when the character moves. For the flowing Malaysian hair, the key animation and physics-based animation introduced above are all research and development processes for the flowing Malaysian hair. In addition, there are various contents such as combination of key animation and physics-based animation, retargeting system, etc. We will cover related content in the next costume animation, the 4-pointed skirt action. Okay, we will cover related content in the next costume animation. The 4-pointed skirt is actually. As the journey of the Mabinogi Eternity project continues, Malaysian's hair will become even more luscious. Okay, so this is good. So they are working on hair movement in this part of the update. So today we'll be looking at a part that was shown in the Korean Fantasy Party for Mabinogi. We'll be looking at character creation in Unreal Engine 5. And we have English closed captioning. There's the login. So they played this live on stream. Here's the new character select screen. This looks pretty cool.
안녕하세요, 밀레시안 여러분. 마비노기 총괄 디렉터 민경훈입니다. 이번 이터니티의 소식의 시작을 제가 직접 보여드리고 싶었습니다. 그래서 캐릭터 생성 과정을 제가 직접 좀
So the director is going to show
보여드리려고
us the character
지금은
creation
이제 한참 개발
process
중인 버전이라서
for Unreal.
업데이트 후에 실제로 만나보실 모습은 지금과는 조금 다를 수 있는데 지금 현재 저희가 구현해 놓은 모습을 천천히 보여드리도록 하겠습니다. 네, 이렇게 하나씩 선택할 수 있고요. 세 캐릭터를 선택해 보겠습니다. 네, 이 의상은 처음 보시는 의상이죠. 이터니티 버전으로
This is the first time you've seen this costume, newly created in Eternity version. This is the newbie wear. Okay.
이전에 잠깐 소개해드린 것처럼 이런 형태의
A while ago, yes, as I briefly introduced, this is now.
신발도 이제 구현해 볼 수 있고요.
Now let's implement pretty shoes in the shape of.
일단은 남캐를 한번 잠깐 보여드릴게요.
Okay, first the male character. So yeah, you can pick the male character's age. And this shows you like the stats. Because the stats are like slightly different.
이렇게 당연히 나이도 이렇게 고를 수 있고요. 네, 능력치는 신경 쓰지 않으셔도 됩니다. 임시 수치로 넣어둔 거예요. 네.
So it looks like over here we have like a couple of different like starting outfit options. So like this is the newbie wear over here, and it looks like you can pick like one of these other 3 outfits to start with. So far this looks really good.
네, 얼굴도 이렇게 이거 이따가 조금 이따가 자세히 보여드릴 텐데 이제 남캐 헤어들은 지금 일단 반영해 놓은 건 이 정도고요. 여러 가지 익숙하신 헤어들이
Couple of the different male hairstyles.
네, 이런 헤어도 있고, 네, 그리고 당연히 이렇게 색상도 선택할 수 있습니다.
And the different colors.
네, 일단 다시 돌아가서 여성캐로 선택을 해보겠습니다.
And you can notice, like here, you can see some of the hair clipping through her outfit. So it's a lot easier to notice, like, the hair clipping through the outfits on the female character, because she has, like, longer hair. And the longer hair options typically, like, clip through the outfits more.
네. 예쁘죠? 예쁜 건
Yeah, you can see it like better up close. You can see how it's like cutting into the shirt and stuff. But it looked a lot better in game. That might just be like a character creation thing. Like when I saw like the in-game footage that's later, it looked a lot better and a lot less noticeable.
가까이서 봐야 됩니다. 이렇게 가까이서 보시면 이 디테일이 좀 보이실 것 같아요. 이렇게 의상도 이런 식으로 디테일하게 표현해서 구현을 해볼 수가 있고요. 피부 색상도 이렇게 선택한 대로 바로 잘
And different skin tones. That's cool.
네.
That one's cool too.
이런 모습도 그렇고 다양한 모습을 볼 수 있고, 저는 개인적으로 좋아하는 연한 복숭아 빛을 선택하겠습니다. 이 헤어도 이렇게 반영이 되는데 아마 지금 잘 아시는 헤어들이 있을 거예요. 아시는 헤어들이 있고, 그렇죠. 이 헤어는 좀 이따가 다시 보실 수 있을 것 같은데 저는
Okay, this hairstyle doesn't clip through the outfit at all. So that's good. Because, like, the hair that hangs off to the sides here in the front, like, that's far enough away from the outfit that doesn't clip into it. And, like, the ponytail in the back goes out far enough to the point where it doesn't, like, clip into the back of the character at all.
죄송합니다. 제 취향대로 일단 선택을 해보겠습니다. 그리고 눈도 지금은 이 정도로 반영이 돼 있고요. 눈도 아마
Couple of different
잘
options for
아시는
eyes.
네, 이 눈으로 선택을 하겠습니다. 아, 제가 헤어 색상을 안 정했네요. 제가 그 블루 계열을 좋아해서 여기 제
Changing the hair color?
명확하게 있지는 않은데 네, 다른 의도는 없습니다. 이 블루를 선택을 하겠습니다. 그리고 눈도 맞춰야죠. 네, 이렇게 맞추겠습니다. 그리고 입은
Yeah, changing the hair and eye color.
있고요. 그리고 장식이랑 화장도 있는데 네, 이 부분은 네, 나중에 또 보여드릴 기회가 있을 것 같습니다.
There are decorations and makeup too, so you can use that.
네, 이런 프리셋들을 확인을.
Yeah, and here's some of the different, like, starting outfits. Now he's going through, like, those options. This one goes really well with the blue hair.
하실 수가 있습니다. 네, 이렇게 있고요. 그리고 이렇게 가까이서 보시면 좀 재질감이 좀 다르죠? 네, 이런 의상도 있고, 그리고 왠지 궁수한테 어울릴 것 같은 네, 이런 의상도 있고요. 네, 이런 의상도 있습니다. 네,
Yeah, this one looks pretty cool. Looks like an outfit that maybe like a priest or a healer would wear, like a priestess or a healer. Or a mage.
이제 본격적으로 한번 떠나보겠습니다.
They're laughing because the name was taken when he tried to name the character.
네. 서버는 지금 유튜브 하나만 반영을 해둔 거니까 혹시나.
The server currently only reflects one loot. They might be talking about like loot server. Since I've already done it, maybe other than loot, I hope the servers aren't upset. Okay, so he's gonna create the character. The owl looks pretty cool too.
어떠세요? 밀레시안과 에린을 연결해줄 조금 새로운 모습의 소울 스트림입니다.
The soul stream looks pretty good. I like how they added some color to like this part where you walk around. Like there's some blue, some gold, and maybe some like blue and purple more in the center where now is.
네, 여기 계신 분들은 너무 잘 아시다시피 마비노기에서 의미 깊은 장소잖아요. 네, 그래서 좀 더 가슴에 남을 만한 모습으로 변화를 시도해보고 있습니다. 우리 나오가 쳐다보네요. 네, 아이고 죄송합니다. 아, 제가 지금 손이 떨리고 있어요.
These dialogue options on the side are pretty cool. Like, I like the way the boxes look for text and everything. So far, this looks pretty good as far as the interface goes for like chatting with an NPC.
네, 뭐 하나하나 말을 걸어보고 싶지만 지금 이제 보여드릴 게 좀 더 있기 때문에 에린으로 바로 가겠습니다. 네. 다음에 또 만나요.
And now she's going to send us to Aaron. Wait, let's go back just a little bit. This was just a brief moment, but it looks like this would be like the loading screen. That might change, like before it comes out. This is just a test play that they're going through. But this is simple, it looks nice. Wouldn't mind if that was the main, like, loading screen. And then they finally get into game. And you can see that there are, like, a couple other characters out here. These might be members of the development team that are, like, working on it. Or it could be some sort of closed beta in Korea. Either way, I think it's a good thing that they're, like, stress testing it. But yeah, we'll look at the gameplay and cover that in another video. But that's the character creation. And so far, I think it's pretty good. Alright, let's play Mabinogi today. I am a little late. I got distracted in a conversation. So, had to take care of some stuff first. Toss all that crap. Let's go figure out what the daily veteran dungeon is right away. We'll do that first. And today's Wednesday, so we're getting, I want to say Irusan rewards, because I'm used to this being the Irusan in attendance event. I know this is like the second or third Pan's attendance event, but I'm used to the old name. Okay, so we're getting an XP fruit, forgetful potion, any past selection box. Am I still in Forbidden Alchemist? Yeah, I sure am. Cool. Maybe I'll wait to do my veteran dungeon then. So we have Rabby today. Nice. We'll do that. Let's level up first, though. I could do a Beltane thing to level up really quick. Oh right, I haven't done any of that Valentine's Day event thing, that part 2. Last week I didn't want to do the part-time job because it was an annoying quest. I'll try and do that today. I'm only after like 1 reward from that, so I'm not really that concerned about it, but whatever. It's sort of a low priority for me right now. I don't really want to do a Beltane mission. What about a Shadow mission? Shadow mission might be fun. What kind of Shadow missions do we have? No. Sulfur Spider. That one's not very fun. I think maybe I'll just start with Commerce today. Like, we'll do Commerce in the beginning and we'll do the Veteran Dungeon later on. I also want to do Text today, but later. I might skip the Veteran Dungeon completely today, I don't really know. Speech bubbles. But I definitely want to use that Neurite, because those checks will come in handy. Let's go get the extra Neurite from the Adventure Seal shop. So I want to do a minimum of 6 runs today. That won't be so bad. And they'll pay over 100k, so can't really say no to that. Let's go ahead and get one of those.
다음 분.
Oh, that speed potion's still in effect. How much longer is that gonna last? 10 minutes. Nice. Yeah, let's get speed potions today. We're just gonna do commerce. Right from the start. Hey, they finally have some of these in stock. These are worth a lot in Philia right now. But we'll take him to Tara for 609. Ooh, this is the night track for Dumbarton in Unreal. That actually sounds really good while like moving through the Dumbarton area in the rain. Oh wait, no, that's not the Dumbarton one. That one's the Turconale one. What am I thinking? How do I get that mixed up? Sort of have my head in the clouds today. Still sounds nice though. And this doesn't really level me up very fast. We only gained like 1 level. That's okay. Let's go ahead and get some stuff from here too. I need my commerce partner for the camel. Well, I don't need him, but sure helps out a lot. Let's go ahead and take those bunk beds. Maybe I'll take those to Cobb. Cobb's a little bit closer than Bangor, and it's basically the same price. Wait, is that the same player from yesterday? Oh, I think it might be. I think that same player's been AFK there since I was doing commerce, like, during yesterday's stream. I've done that before, though. I've, like, left Mabinogi running for, like, 2 or 3 days straight while I sell stuff on Channel 1 in the old days. I think, like, the longest I had Mabby open was, like, 3 or 4 days straight without actually closing the game even once. Oh, wanna go around that one. I don't really want to fight bandits. Kind of a waste of time. But there's lots of hiding spots for them in Lago Prairie. Oh, we hit the next rank already. Wow. Let's see what we get for that. I think just some speed potions, or... Oh no, production candy. I guess we'll use that. Doesn't prevent bandit encounters completely, but reduces the number of encounters by a little bit. Halves the chance, so 50% less likely to encounter bandits. Nice. And what do I want to use here? Do I want to use the camel or the alpaca for the scales? Oh, those scales are light. We don't want to use that. What do they sell for? Yeah, we'll take those to... I guess, sure. So I want the alpaca for that. And we'll take those to Turconail. Because the alpaca has way more inventory slots. I guess there's not as many people like commercing today. I wasn't far enough away. Crap. Yep, mind that tree. Go and get that doll bag summoned. And let's switch to a new playlist. Let's do the yeah, we'll do the normal Mabby playlist. Songs from the actual game instead of mobile. Go ahead and stack those over here and open up this chest. What am I stuck on? There we go. Forgetful potion over here. Where's the XP fruit? I should use this potion in a Baltame mission. I'll probably run a Baltame mission tomorrow or Friday. I think those potions are good for, I think, like 2 weeks. Yeah. Okay, 78. And a useless second title, because the effects are only good for 10 days. What a waste. I already got what I wanted from the Adventure Pass, which was that homestead item. That was pretty much the only thing I cared about from that. What's in here? Let's get a repair kit. Save some money on my next repairs. But yeah, I'm gonna toss that second title, I don't want it. It's kinda useless. Don't really need that. So how long do I have to use these? 10 days? Maybe I'll just get 2 more Neurite from this, and then I'll just do like 8 runs in total today. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. Alright, let's trade from here. Let's grab these and take them to Tara for 109. So yeah, we'll probably commerce for like another hour or so, and then we'll do the tech stuff. Okay, let's switch to the camel. Looks like all the good stuff is bought up here. I don't think I've had a chance to transport those wine racks. Let's go ahead and take the, oh wait, yeah, I want the camel. Let's go ahead and take the bunk beds. So, Bangor or Cobb. Doesn't really matter that much to me. Like, 824 isn't that much less. I think we'll go to Bangor, though. Just because we went to Cobb last time. Min and T, thanks for the raid. Welcome in. I'm just doing commerce today mostly. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do a bit more commerce, then I'm gonna do like techs in maybe 30 or 40 minutes. I forgot how relaxing commerce is. It's been a while since I've actually taken it seriously. Yeah, that's the plan. I know it expires tomorrow, so I want to use it all up. I'm gonna do like 8 tech runs. I have 3 nearite that expire, and then 5 that reset. I always do the same mission. I do that mission that has the Kraken in it. That one's probably my favorite tech mission. Although I kind of wish they would bring back the more difficult tech missions. Like they felt more difficult and like longer the way they were before. Like I'd be fine with it if they left the current tech missions in like the way they are now as like a beginner difficulty, but like added the way tech missions used to be as like a more challenging option. Yeah, it took all the fun out of it. Now tech missions feel like they're just a way to make a quick buck. Like that's the whole reason I do it, because of the big checks in the end chests. Sell those here, and then how much lead do they have? What does that sell for right now? I guess we could bolt back to Taro with that lead for 356. Now I'm gonna take that lead to Belvast. We'll sell that for 405, do a Belvast run, and then maybe 1 or 2 more Ulad runs depending on what time we get back, and then we'll do techs. I think that's how I want to do it. I hear rumors that there's still like plans over in Korea to like do more with dungeons and stuff. Like the dungeon update isn't like fully complete, and that's why it's so bad right now. So that's why some people are still have like a little bit of faith in Choi Dong-min. I don't think he's making good decisions, but I'll believe a good update from him when I see it. I mean, that's kind of what I did before I started streaming, really. Like, I spent most of my time AFK in Dumbarton, and then I did story missions or anything else that was kind of relevant, like anytime I felt like it, for like an hour or 2. The The problem is a lot of content that was relevant isn't relevant anymore, and then that's like the problem. Like, New Rise didn't help older dungeons because older dungeons are now completely forgotten, whereas 8 to 10 years ago, I could still run like Fiat Advanced or something and it was actually challenging instead of being overly easy. Like, the Arcana system was a good update, but there's a lot of older content that needs to be scaled up to match that. And the most noticeable, like, the most noticeable updates of the game being in a bad state have happened since Choi Dong-min became the current director of the game. Like, my biggest complaints about Mabinogi right now are how dungeons and like shadow missions and stuff like that are being handled. Yeah, they're trying to push players into the endgame stuff instead of updating the older stuff. They're just giving players new gear right away for doing basically nothing so they can jump into that endgame content. Which isn't good. And it's not really that complicated to, like, fix older dungeons, right? You just scale up the enemies and you adjust the end chest rewards and to, like, motivate players to actually run them, and the problem's basically fixed. I made, like, a video on my thoughts about the dungeon thing, like, recently, well, probably about a month ago now that I think about it, but, like, I think that they should stop calling veteran dungeons and just make that the new normal difficulty. Like, remove the veteran passes and all that stuff, bring unrestricted dungeon passes back, and then, like, the normal mode to dungeons would just be enemies at a veteran level, and then like intermediate, advanced, and all that would just be a slightly more difficult version, and then you just like adjust the end chest rewards so they're actually like worth farming. I'm fine with basically any pronouns. Can just like use he or him or even they or them. Doesn't really matter to me. I'm not picky about that sort of thing. So I'll sell that lead here. That's still worth it, right? Yeah, 405. And then insufficient stock. So I think we'll take some chain whips back to Ulan. Even bandits sort of need like an upgrade too, like bandits are just too easy to defeat. Take those Tailton for 189. I don't even need Arcana, like even master level bandits can just be defeated by spamming Thunder a whole bunch. Well, I'm sure Mabinogi's luck will turn around sooner or later. There have been many things that have happened in this game that have left players thinking that it's dead in the water, but it's bounced back. I think if they can just like scale some enemies up and fix like the dungeon system, like that'll solve most of the issues. I don't even do that Shine Seeker stuff, like I ran Shine Seeker Dungeon maybe once or twice when it first came out just to see what it was all about, and I haven't really ran it since. Alright, and off to Tilton. Oh, that speed potion wore off. Let's use this one next. I think after we finish this run to Tilton, I'll start working on those techs, because I don't know how long it's going to take. Like I have 8, near 8, so it will probably take like, I imagine 30 or 40 minutes to get through all of them. Looks like this is a problem. Master bandits are no challenge at all. Even the bandit boss is getting fried. And we'll sell these here, so silver, rank 5. What do we get for that? We get speed potions. Alright, let's hop over to the Sen Mag. And let's do those techs. So my two favorite Arcana to use is Dark Diviner and Arsenal Gunner. But I usually like to use Dark Diviner for techs, mostly because it has just a little bit more range than Arsenal Gunner does. I like to use Arsenal Gunner for like veteran dungeons and stuff like that, where the rooms are a bit smaller. How's that staff doing under ability? Oh, we still got plenty. And let's get a different doll bag out here. So let's get the Sen one out here. And Spell Walk. And Mana Shield. Oh, I don't have much torcha. Gotta build that up a little bit. Easy first round. But this chest is gonna have some good stuff in it. Yeah, I think that's all I want. Okay, let's go again. Oh, it's using up this neurite first instead of my... I thought it was going to use the neurite that was on a timer first. Maybe it knows that this stuff is resetting on Thursdays and this one has like 4 days left, so it's using up this one first. Interesting. But yeah, that's 3 runs. How much longer is that speed potion gonna last? 5 minutes, so that will at least last the next run. Let's go again. Wow, lost smoldering thread this time. Too bad I'm not really using it. I don't really have any interest in, like, using smoldering thread to unlock links until the next 2 Arcana come out, which will be probably in August. Is that everything? Yeah, I think that's everything that I want from there. Okay, so now we have 3 Nearite left. I think I'm gonna use that up today real quick. Oh, now that speed potion wore off. Okay. I never take those Urg EXP fragments. I've honestly never even tried making an Urg weapon or upgrading one or any of that stuff. Just never seen the point. Okay, and to get a speed boost, we're going to use this pet buff, which will boost our speed by 40% for like 10 minutes. It's a shame to let so many smoldering threads go to waste, but I'm just not really interested in wasting gold on unlocking a bunch of other links for another Arcana right now. Okay, one more run. This will be the last one. And then we can, like, level out my text a little bit more. And done. Get all these checks sorted out. And let's deposit all the gold that I have. Dual guns are still fine. Yeah, I don't need to repair anything right now. And I put some fine leather on sale yesterday. Pretty sure that all sold. Perfect. That's nice. And now let's take a look at tech stuff. So dampen shock is level 10. Battle surge would be nice to level up. Looks like I just barely have enough points here to get it to that stage, and we have enough crystals too. Good. So yeah, we'll take that up. I need some of that green stuff, the green crystals. Okay, we'll take Unified Might up to level 7. And then how do we get more for that? Doing dungeons and missions and stuff. Okay. Then let's take it instantly level 8. We have tons of those. And then Okay, so I need more crystals of achievement. I need like 22 more. So let's go ahead and open up like 5 of these. Or wait a minute. Yeah, 4B20, we need 25, so 5. Just like that. Oops. And then this one can go up again. And then we have enough. Yeah, I can probably get this one level 10 today. What does this even do anyway? Oh, so this lowers the enemy's defense and protection. Okay. That's cool. Go ahead and max this out. Oh, and I need like 40 for Fate Weaver. Let's just use the rest of these on Crystals of Achievement then. We'll get like 15 from here, and then we'll get a bunch tomorrow with the neurite we get from tomorrow. So we can level up Fate Weaver then. There. Like, we don't have anything to worry about. Those crystals don't expire for like 2 weeks. So, tons of time. Yeah, that's good. Ergon Lock Assist. Okay, I'll probably just throw that out. Maybe I should check out the Erg system one day. Like, ever since it was released, I've just never cared enough to even so much as really look at it. There's no interest. Where'd those awakened strength fragments go? I know I picked up like 2 of those. Oh, there they are. So yeah, we can make like 200,000 gold off all this stuff. Huh, weird. I got some sort of notification on my phone about like a Facebook post made in a Mabinogi group, apparently about a scammer, so I'm assuming that someone like was going to like buy art or something from like an artist in the Mabinogi community or whatever, and it turned out to be like a scammer or something. I am really glad and really lucky that I'm like best friends with my artist, the guy who does like all the art for my channel. If you're on Twitch, I have like if anyone's on Twitch, I have links to his stuff below and under the credits panel. Great artist. I'm glad I've never had to go through the nightmare of like actually hunting for like an artist, finding someone trustworthy to do channel art. Oh right, I don't have any gold yet. I gotta sell that stuff. Let's do that real quick. Forgot about that. You can have these two things. And this thing. And yeah, that's gonna get us 200k. And then we're gonna put this in the bank. Yeah, I think we're gonna skip the vet dungeon today. I just don't feel like doing it. Been pretty busy this week, so I'm just like, I don't know, when I'm playing Mabinogi, I'm just a little out of it. So we're just doing chill commerce streams and a couple of texts here and there and whatever else. Alright, well I think we'll wrap things up right around here for today. So again, my plans for like streaming in the future are we're just gonna have nice chill Mabinogi streams for the rest of this week, and then next week I will be returning to Contraband Police from noon to 3. I'll start doing those streams again. And then like near the end of March, we're also gonna start playing the Mega Man Star Force games, because that collection comes out on like the 26th.